Hey, come here. Real quick.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Hey y'all, real quick.
Y'all, real quick.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Real Quick Talk Show with Ashley. Woo! Y'all, Kenji killed it. He killed it. I just, you're such a genius. Salute to you, Kendrick. The Real Quick Talk Show definitely supports you. Woo! Speaking of support, today's episode is gonna be about actors and actresses. Yes! People chasing their dreams. I know a couple of people who are actually currently chasing becoming that one that gets the call, gets that big screen call or get that directing role, writing role. It's a lot that goes into acting, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Today's episode is definitely going to be knowledgeable, okay? And I can't wait to share with y'all. So we're going to move, we're going to get set up. Be right back. Welcome back. I told y'all we were going to move, and I have my guest with me.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into this episode. Again, it's called New Faces, and we're just going to talk about career chasing.
I like that title.
Thank you. We're going to introduce ourselves, but first, when you're introducing yourself, answer this question. Why acting?
I'm Ciara. Dude, why acting? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I just felt free when I started acting in musical theater when I was young, so it makes me feel free. Yeah.
I'm Zaria, and for me, I'd say just the fact that you can make such real feelings in people even when stuff isn't real. I was sobbing on my bed at 2 a.m. to a show that was ridiculous, but it made me I was deeply affected by what was going on, and I was you can change people like this, even if what you're watching has nothing to do with real life. It does when it hits hope or change in people. So
Yeah. Ron?
I'm Ron, and it's not even, of course, I love acting, but it's not just acting itself, it's actually a vehicle. Artistry is just the biggest thing for me. As long as I'm creating, as long as I'm doing something in that endeavor, I'm good, sign me up. So it's just fulfillment in artistry for sure.
Nice.
Close enough answer. I'm Jalen. Acting for me, just being drawn to it, having a wild imagination as a child, just being different characters, how you just play that make-believe and you just this character and that character, and just seeing how, in acting you can just venture into different roles and just developing, your own identity in a character, and yeah, just really playing make-believe and like Zaria said, just impacting people emotionally, connecting with people, so yeah.
I'm Alex. I think for me it's just the storytelling. Love telling great stories, important stories, impactful stories, and stories that just make people feel good. So I think it's just the storytelling aspect of it is what really made me choose acting.
What's up? My name is Ian Payton, aka Sleepy Phoenix, you know what I mean? Stream my album, you know what I mean? But when it's all said and done, out right now on all platforms. But acting is music side. I just love art. I love filmmaking. I love the process of it, from directing to writing to even being a gaffer or building sets and stuff. I just love the creation and the process of creating a film. But definitely, I agree with everybody, what they said, from the freedom to the impacting on people's lives and to playing multiple characters, whether fictional or real life.
Thank you, everyone.
I gotta get the show started for you. Continue.
I'm sorry, y'all. Ian Payton, my husband. Let's start there.
Mhm.
So he'll be the ghetto one out the group.
Real.
That's great.
So next question: what effect did the strike have on chasing your dream?
Ladies, y'all wanna go first for that one?
Anybody can go. It don't have to be everybody.
So for me, I left my job to pursue acting full time the same day the strike started. So that was fun.
Dang, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my last day was the first day the strike started. So it definitely had me questioning some things, but I still stuck in it as much as I could. But yeah, definitely hit me hard.
I would say for me, it was just the thought of not paving a way for your dreams and your legacy, and the thought of like, yeah, that was my thought process. I'm like, dang, we gotta be on hold. We don't know if this is gonna end. How is this gonna affect us? Am I gonna live out my dreams and really, fulfill it? So that was my thought process and the strike happening.
Anyway,
I would say for me, the strike happened around the same time that my son was born. So it's like, okay, the strike happened, but then at the same time, God was like, okay, I'm about to bless you with something so much greater than what's going on in the industry right now. So you can focus your attention on being a dad and all the things that come along with being a parent. And then when the time is right, you know what I'm saying, you can get back to work. So I just feel like it worked out in my favor. And now that, he's a little more independent, like the strike is over with, now I'm able to kind of dive back in the head first. So it all worked out for me.
I love that.
Real quick, because that was very powerful in what you said, for real.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that, I'm kind of like getting my mind around that now, since I'm out of acting class and being a newfound father. It's like, dang, I really want to tackle what I feel like my purpose and my dream is, but what you just said, like God just sitting me down and, embracing and enjoying this moment I have with my wife and being a father and stuff. So that was I had to chime in on it because that kind of hit for real.
Absolutely.
Nice information. Take notes. What does this statement mean to you guys? I'll do anything to become famous, especially when we know what's going on in Hollywood.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, that means just compromising yourself, your beliefs in a way. We know, we've all heard about, things people may have done or had to do, humiliation rituals and stuff. So yeah, I think, it's just following those things that you think are good in the moment, like are gonna get you this level of success and stuff, but at the end of the day, like what does that do to your spirit? What does that do to the inside of you? How does that make you feel? Like what are you willing to compromise and to get this level of success? And is it really what you think it is once you obtain it? The grass ain't always greener. So I just say be careful with that, always keep your values, just be grounded in your values and stuff like that as a person.
And I think it's weird to chase fame, like, going around hearing everybody, like, we're in this for the art or for what it can do for people. And I think to just want to be famous, I think it speaks to a lot of, like, real insecurity people have about not being affirmed in some way. And we see celebrities where it's like, okay, well, they have, like, millions of people online saying, oh, I love you, you're this, you're that. And it's really empty because you don't know these people. They don't mean anything to you. So I think, same as Jalen said, you can't, compromise your morals and values. And I think for a lot of people, like, you need to find what those are. Because I think today people are very shallow, unfortunately, and don't know what they stand for, don't know what they care about. It's just whatever's hot, whatever's popping is like, okay, yeah, I like this. And it's just like, if fame is what you're looking for, I think you should reconsider, regardless of, like, what you're going into, whether it's acting, music, politics, like, it doesn't matter. But
There's a double-edged sword with that too. Like, not disagreeing with what you're saying is like sometimes you see people, they're just tired of the way their life is going, so they feel like that is the only solution to solving that problem going through, whether it's financial problems or just getting out of a circumstance that they are in. But like I said, not disagreeing with you, what you're saying, but I feel like that's probably 9 times out of 10 of why, but majority of it's probably vain, probably feeling entitled, and that's a problem when you sitting there trying to be entitled. I think that's a huge problem.
My bad. I think like what you said, there are things that people have to deal with, like you said, financial problems, or feeling like you have to take care of your family and whatnot. Those things can drive you to, reach for that level of success. And I think what we're talking about with the strike, like just understand, like, or even like you said, having millions of people that love you, like all that stuff can like switch on you in an instant. Like you said, the industry can shut down, or people can switch up on you. If you say something that they don't agree with. So, like I said, just tying back to like not everything is just greener on the other side. There are benefits though, like reaching that level, having that impact. You can really like make change in people's lives and stuff like that. So, yeah, just being careful. Like when you say, "Oh, I'll do anything to get famous," it's
for me. I wouldn't do that because I don't like this. I don't like the fact somebody has something over my head.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that I wouldn't. Why I wouldn't just do anything.
Yeah.
And I think it takes away from the artistry of it all.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing. Like if you're just chasing fame, you're not trying to do it right. Oh, I guess right subjective, but like you kind of have that artistry kind of thrown out the window, because if you're willing to do anything, that doesn't mean that you're gonna be passionate about it. You're just doing something to be famous.
I agree. Excuse me. And with actors specifically, it's always this big thing about making it. When I make it, when I make it to this level, I'm gonna be fulfilled. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. And it's just like, why can't you just appreciate the journey? You know what I'm saying? Of where you at right now. Yeah. Like doing this interview, just speaking amongst other artists, like appreciate the little things that kind of get you to the next checkpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not really just all about making it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're creating art, if you go into classes, workshops, or whatever your fancy is, you made it. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're fulfilled.
And I'm not. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But from the mindset of like you in the midst of it, you just want to get out.
Of course.
You just want to get to. All right. Once I make it, I got the bread and But you're missing, like you said, you're missing everything. You're missing the enjoyment of it. So yeah.
And then it turns into like, okay, is this a pursuit or is this an idol?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta keep, you know what I'm saying? You gotta keep that in mind.
And every people's making it is different. Like some people's making it could be just doing this or just being in community with people. Another person's making it can just be I'm a lead in something. So like it's also different, once again subjective as well. Just like who's making it, like what you're making it for you, and just if you go by that and don't let it like completely consume you, you're fine.
Nice.
Okay. Next question. Did you have a role model growing up? And if so, are they still your role model today?
Like an actor, or like somebody like personally in my life.
I guess actor or actress.
I never really did, honestly, because I think, they talk so much about, comparison is the thief of joy. And for me, I think it's very easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to the point that you devalue yourself if you're not equivalent or greater than that person. And so I think I look at artists and I appreciate them and their journeys, and I think you can study for sure and see like, oh, I like these choices, or even just looking at people in general and realizing like maybe anger doesn't show up in me that way, but it's a beautiful way to look at it, stuff like that. So I've never necessarily had like a role model in that sense. I've always just been like, I want what the Lord wants for me and whatever that looks like. Because if I'm obedient and if I'm fulfilling that, that means that like that's touching other people and I don't have to look like somebody else to do it.
For me, I would say I have, for actors wise, I have multiple role models. I wouldn't call role models for real, just I hate to say it, idolize, but now that I'm older and actually pursuing it, I want to create my own path, create my own legacy. And before then, I wanted to just be in the breaths of those who I consider great actors, to my name to be mentioned in those sentences. But now I just like, man, I don't really care about being great. I just want to just do my own thing, create my own lane, and have my impact and leave a positive impact on not only on my family, but you know, the culture.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I wouldn't necessarily call him a role model, but I think just looking at his level of preparation and excellence in every role he's been in, and like, I think that's inspired me to like try to work hard at everything I do, especially like preparation. Is like Denzel Washington, you know, like I think for a lot of black men, you know, we all have looked up to Denzel, and like every movie he's been in, like he hasn't had a bad job, you know. So it's like he just always like he always just works at an extremely like high level, you know, when he's in front of that camera and even in theater. So just looking at him, just seeing like where he's been at, you know, that just gives me, you know, confidence to like work hard, you know, and you know the chips may fall where they may. So
if there was something that you could take from a role, I guess that's what I would say. If there was someone that I was looking up to or that I wanted to be like, it was the intangible things that I looked up to. It's more so the hard work or the dedication or the consistency that they always show. That's what I'm more so admired than like what you portrayed on the screen. Because I mean that's great too, and that's your artistry and it's beautiful to watch. But hearing the background of how like you got there or just the type of person you are, I think that it meant more to me just as I grew up. Being just seeing your artistry, what you portray.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say role model like everyone's saying, but like I used to look up to, well, still in a sense, Dorothy Dandridge and Angela Bassett were like top. Like it would be amazing to work with Angela, but I think like everyone's been saying, it's more like not like a role model, but like I aspire to do the work and put in that hard work to get not even where they are, but just to feel like I did it right, I guess, in that sense. Like not just half-assing it, to put it like that. Like I want to put in that work and the opportunities will come to me if need be. Like, and Dorothy Dandridge just like paving that way and for someone else to see you on the screen. Because Dorothy Dandridge, while she might have had her own things personally, she was a huge inspiration and still is for a lot of black women because she was one of the first. So it's like kind of like that. Like I take small things from it, but like everyone's saying like I'd rather you be a good person and put in that work more than what you've done, kind of thing.
Well said.
Okay. So there was a recent interview done with 2 casting directors stating they only watch 4 to 15 seconds set tape.
This ain't gonna be no. This is gonna be more than 4
How does
seconds.
it feel knowing that information?
Man, I kicked this one off. I was hearing that. I was insulted. I was very insulted. And the reason why I was insulted, because the 2 people that made those distasteful remarks were, one is a prominent casting director in the Southeast, and for her to laugh and basically co-sign what the young lady said, and then added her 2 cents of saying, yeah, I do 15 seconds. That's very insulting to me as an actor, and we sacrifice a lot as actors. We sacrifice a lot, our time, our money, our hearts, our mind. Some actors we know travel hours to pay $200, $400 for an acting class. Or us, I uprooted from Norfolk, Virginia, and where I'm from, we don't have acting studios, acting production, film production. So I uprooted myself and my family to pursue my dreams down here, and for them to sit there and say they only take 4 to 15 seconds watching my 2 minutes or 3 minute self-tape, that is very insulting.
I understand both sides, honestly. Like, of course, being an artist in the Southeast, like, I get it. Like, the 4-second thing was definitely insulting, especially with the work and everything that goes into moving to Atlanta, like putting all your resources into your career and everything, just to be like, okay, I just busted my ass for like 2+ hours on this audition, you know what I'm saying? And you only watch 4 seconds. That's definitely insulting. But at the same time, I get that it's a bigger picture. You know what I'm saying?
What's the bigger picture?
Bigger picture than those two casting directors is what I'm saying. So they said what they said, but that's their piece on how they personally view like the work and how they critique the work. There's like so many more casting directors, and the industry is so much bigger than just the Southeast.
I'm gonna let everybody. I'm gonna let it before I get into it. Yeah, go.
I think off of what Ron said, that piece of like, I get both. I don't agree with both sides. I'm definitely with Ian. I think it is insulting, especially because it kind of ties into that whole wanting to be famous question of how like the artistry's kind of getting lost a little bit because some people are just like on it to get up, you know? And I think it can stem, not, you know, for those women particularly, but it can stem into even casting. Like everywhere in the industry, you have these people who may not care so much about the artistry and it's just getting a job done. And I think this is where it's like, you have to just be careful with your words, because if it was something like you only watch 4 seconds, but you can tell that, okay, maybe lighting's bad and the whole frame is crooked and you're talking straight into the camera. Like there's certain things where it's like, okay, for the level of work you're looking for, you can tell if somebody doesn't even meet the threshold standard. But when you do have people who are doing solid work, to just only hear, I'm watching 4 seconds, it is a slap in the face, because, you know, you are putting a lot into it. I think like Ron was saying, it's not everybody. I don't think every casting director is like that. And I think you also just have to like, sometimes just chew the meat, spit out the bone. Know for yourself, like, okay, nobody's ever going to click off on my thing because, you know, I didn't get my lighting or this, that, and the third. Like, I'm going to make sure I put out quality work for myself. And then also just trusting in God that, you know what, if this person only looked at 4 seconds, then that meant it wasn't for me. And what's going to be for, like, nobody's ignorance can step in the way of what God had for you, in my opinion. So I think sometimes, like, it rubbed me wrong, but I didn't, like, my whole world didn't crash down hearing that. It was just like, okay, well, that's you, you know?
Yeah, and I think honestly that goes, just going with everybody said, like, I don't think for a lot of us, especially that people that go to Angela's class, it didn't really like completely tear us apart, because we know that's not the norm. Like we know what we do. Like she teaches us the artistry, not just how to get a role. So like I think, of course, it was very annoying.
Business.
Yeah, and the business. So like,
shouts out to Angela.
Yes,
and
at her studios. But
Raquel, is it Germany now?
Yeah.
Germany. Lisa, we gotta give them shouts out because she's an incredible. Sorry to cut you off. She's an incredible. They are an incredible acting studio and teacher. They not only teach you the art, but they teach you the business too. So shouts out.
And you don't have to be in Georgia because they're in hybrid. They're hybrid now. So
yeah.
True.
Continue. I'm sorry.
But no, you good. But yeah, like it was insulting because it's like some of us that get like page 2-3 pages and you're only looking at 4 seconds. We're barely taking a breath in 4 seconds. Like so, that was annoying. And then just kind of going along with the other casting directors, we know they're not. Every casting director isn't like that, like in LA, New York, or even some in the Southeast. And there were people in the comments that were casting directors like, yo, this is BS. Like, what are you talking about? So that also kind of helped, and I think should help a lot of actors just realize that's not the norm. I mean, there were other casting directors that are huge out of LA and New York, and they were like, this is BS, like, take it down. So, you know, it was insulting, but it's like, if you do, like Zari was saying, if you do what you're supposed to do, if you have all your ducks in a row and you just trust in God has what is for you, then just keep moving how you're moving. Upgrade, keep trying to up yourself, not trying to impress the people that are going to see your stuff.
Yeah. I told Ian, and I was like, dang, all I get is hi. And then that's it. Like, you can't even say your name. Just,
yeah, because if you including the slate with that 4 seconds, that's a slate. That's shorter than slate.
Yeah.
So
I just think that it's kind of for people who just now starting out acting.
Yeah.
It's got now. They gonna think if they see that video or hear that, they gonna think, oh man,
I gotta show out.
I gotta
Yeah,
show
they
out,
were
or I
stressing
gotta
in the
half-ass
comments.
my self tape, and it's like, no, bro, you gotta. There's levels to how to
Yeah.
self tape,
Yeah.
and there's levels to acting, and you gotta do it in order to get booked. You gotta do it properly, and if they hear that, they think they just gonna throw everything out the window.
Yeah.
So I think that was also kind of what's the word, alarming, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
new actors, I
Yeah.
saw some in the comments and were like, what am I supposed to do now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. But I know, like, our coach talked about it and she was just like, don't get scared. Just keep working on your craft. Don't take this to heart. These are 2 out of like 20, 30 casting directors, and they're only in one region. They're not in the entire Hollywood. So, like, don't take this as like just a hit to your process, because who knows if you'll ever even get in front of them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, just as an actor, you got to think about your career, what type of work you want to be in, you know, how intentional you want to be with your work, and like they said, it's not every casting director is like that. So you know, you just have to think about what you want out of your career, and if you feel like that casting director, how do I say this? If their product, you know, doesn't align with what you want, then just don't audition for them. You know, it's not the end all be all. So just keep working on the craft, keep working on the things you can control. Like Zari said, you know, how good your setup is, you know, the lighting, the background, you know, the things you can control, and everything else, you know, is in God's plan.
How'd you feel about it, Alex?
It was disappointing. Because it was really disappointing because there were 2 black casting directors.
yeah.
And the fact that we already are a step behind in everything that we do, really, no matter what field we go into, to hear them say that and really to double down on it and triple down on it
Yeah.
was the crazy part. Because it's like you're receiving this backlash. Exactly. Like you're receiving this backlash for a reason. People are saying this for a reason. And even people, your colleagues, you know, people that you work with who do the same thing as you are saying this is not how it goes. But for you to still say, you know, no, we're going to keep it like this, is, you know, that was just disappointing. Because yes, we're a community here, and we want to build each other up and push forward the community here as far as acting, but that also comes with holding people accountable for what they said and what they did. You know, they meant what they meant. It was no, oh, I think they were trying to say, nah, they meant what they meant.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it's like, if we're going to be a better community, build something better, we have to hold each other accountable so that we can get better. The comforting thing was that yes, that there was other casting directors to say, I don't do this, I watch fully, this is wrong. But in the grand scheme of things, it is something that you look back and say, it's hard to say you're focusing on the art when you only look at it for a second. It seems like you're looking for something else, whether it be a look or a type. And if that's what you do, okay, fine. That's okay, like everyone has said. You have your own shows that you cast for and that you do certain things for, and that's fine, so that works for you. But it was just good, comforting to know that that's not across the board. Like everyone on different type of shows say, hey, this is my process, this is what I want the actors to do. But I just look from it from a community standpoint. I just felt like it wasn't something, and still isn't something that has benefited us or will.
Do you feel like since she got that position, she's like, oh, I don't gotta watch this no more?
I can't speak on, you know, what her mindset is behind it, you know. It's just one of those things, like, you just gotta take it how it is, and yeah, I'm not gonna say too much.
I'll say this: if they wanna roll like that, then they should start paying us for self tapes for real, man. That's what I mean. They giving us sides with the 4 or 5 page sides, and some not even dialogue. Some are just actions. So, I mean, if you want to watch 4 seconds, at least pay me those 4 seconds. That's all.
And I
'Cause
can't,
I'm leaving my job early just
Right.
to come and redo a tape.
Yeah.
So,
I can't speak on like what she, like how she feels, because you know that's her own thing. I just hope that they kind of take that criticism and grow from that, and that it doesn't not only mess up all of our careers and stuff or our chances or the new actors' chances, but doesn't completely hinder them from a career, because I don't think that they also realize that this would affect them career wise. Like if some people just don't want to work with them or don't want to use them as casting directors because you have this mindset, even if the producers or whatever agree with you, they're not going to use you because now you have this social media kind of outlook that everybody's going to see. So they see your name, some people might not, even the big names might not want to associate with you anymore. So hopefully everyone can grow from that, and it doesn't kind of just stunt growth for new actors and also them, because they can grow, you know. People mess up, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, what are you doing to stay committed and chasing your dreams? Whether it could be a short film, acting class, just creating, period.
I think for me, I'll go. I'm really focusing on building my resume and kind of like being intentional about figuring out what I want for my career. I'm not trying to like jump so fast that like I need to book the big thing now, because I know for myself like I wouldn't be able to manage that and maintain it if I got like this super big role, and even say it blew up. Like I'm not in a place yet to be able to store that, and I know it. So for me, I'm more like, okay, let me enjoy the journey. Do like I just did a short film a couple weeks ago. And just kind of like, okay, what's the next step and the next step, and just like appreciating the journey. Because if it does, you know, turn into something bigger one day, I'll look back at this time and be like, dang, I wish I would have like really soaked it up more. So that's me.
Go along with Zaria. I'm finally back in class, and I am trying to work on just like building a resume as well. And then I'm also into voiceover, so I'm getting voiceover training again. Just doing that, and then just helping anybody who needs self-tape work. That actually helped me kind of stay in the craft with the year break that I had last year. It was like helping with self-tapes made me feel not so, I guess, as a newbie or lost when I got back into class. So stuff like that, because people don't realize being a reader for self-tapes actually helps more than you realize.
Ian used to bully me into doing self-tapes.
Yeah, you gotta use partner.
That's right, bro. That comes with marriage contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, my man. Hey,
You
put it
have
on
to be a
payroll.
self-tape reader for your partner. That's
I want my 50%.
okay.
50% is the roof over your
Period.
head.
Oh.
Hey.
It's a different discussion. It's a different interview. I don't think we're invited to that interview. We're invited to that one.
You're a danger.
I will
50% is love and conditions.
I will say, for me, right now, of course, I've just been in dad mode, but outside of that, I've just been tapping in on like podcasts from all of the working actors that I look up to. Like you got your Coleman Domingos, you got your Daniel Kaluuyas and stuff like that. There's so many gems that they put out there for free, and so I tap in on all of those guys before I can even get back into class, and then just drawing from life experience right now. That's like the biggest teacher for me, because whenever I do come back to the work full time, I got so much experience to pull from and just put that into my art. So it's like, okay, I didn't cry, I didn't do all these things and felt all of these emotions from life. Now I can put it into my art when I get back. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Man, dropping gems.
For real.
Just staying consistent with me, honestly. Class is one thing I do with that. I get real weird with it. You know what I'm saying? I do script analysis on just random movies I'm watching, random scenes. I have a notebook. I be on the couch, script analysis. I be in the gym on the Stairmaster doing it too. It's just weird. I know people think I'm crazy. Be on the Stairmaster 6 a.m.
Yeah, you got that's a different type of discipline right there.
What is this one? I saw him on the that's the same guy. I like fitness.
So that's really just it for me. Just staying consistent in any way that I can.
Yeah, just like he said, just trying to stay consistent with class, auditioning more, submitting for more auditions, just finding new ways I can just look at the craft differently, you know, just develop more of an actor's eye for things, and like Ron said, just being more present in life, because all your life experiences, it can help, you know, when you're in front of the camera. So just being more in tune with what's going around me, and yeah, just being more free with myself, with my emotions, and that just helps me translate it to the craft, you know, just being more grounded and authentic as well. So yeah.
For me, until I get back into acting class, definitely I do music as well, so I try to do something to keep me creative and keep the creative juices flowing, but also creating content on TikTok. Creating content on TikTok, like movie reviews and stuff, just to keep my face out there, because I feel like you can also get seen off of, you know, social media as well. Like there is casting directors and agencies scrolling on TikTok to find the next actor in their movie and project. So I try to at least be on social media creating content to keep my face out there.
And also creating, like you said, creating your own stuff. You know, I like writing down scripts and stuff, and I want to get back into just creating my own videos. I did that for a little bit, and I kind of stopped. So just getting back into that and finding your own artistry in that way. So definitely creating your own stuff is a good way to just stay in that creative space, and it'll help your career.
Isabella has joined the interview, y'all, so excuse me, she wasn't behaving for the sitter. Next question. Why do you believe we see the same faces recycled in the industry?
Somebody, a friend of mine, we had that discussion, because I felt like it was due to, we was talking about the 4 second, and I made a comment. I was like, I feel like that's why you see the same actors on screen constantly. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing new faces broken into the industry. And she made a great point, and she said, well, you gotta think that it is a business, and they gotta sell that product that they are selling. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna need a recognizable face, a household name to push that product. Does it make it right? No, because I feel like, you know, there's a lot of great talents out here that can push that product. You just gotta give them a chance. Like for me, my first film, somebody took a chance on me. I bombed the audition, but she saw something in me. The casting director saw something in me and told the director, you should have him. So I feel like those type of people, you know, should push forward and put those new faces out there. So I think that's why we see the same faces. I may be wrong, she may be wrong, but it was a great comment she made.
No, I definitely agree with that. You know, with the business mentality of it, and how, like, I mean, I think we all know there's like elite levels, there's higher levels of things, and so it's like, you know, once people get into this like realm where it's like, okay, people know your work, or I think that's even a piece of it, of like knowing your work and knowing these people can push the story. Not even so much about selling, but it's like, I know their work and they are good actors, and therefore I trust them with the story already. Or you have a lot of like, I think there's room for a lot of up and coming writers right now. I wish more were getting like the chances to like get on the big screen, but I think a lot of people have stories and they're just like writing roles for these specific people that they're like, I know and love your art and I would love for you to be a part of my story. Yeah. So I think that it doesn't, you know, leave room for, you know, an up and coming talent, or even somebody who is very, you know, seasoned in their craft and just hasn't had that break yet. But yeah, I agree with you.
I agree with all that. I think also it's one of those people know people, and they're gonna put their people in before some stranger.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, that's how I got my first role. Like, so Sade was like, yeah, you need something on your resume, you're gonna be in this movie. And I was just like, Okay. So like I think it also just goes with people know people. If they sometimes bigger people know people that want a chance or like their kids want to try it. And so they're just gonna put them in there. Like Adam Sandler is known for putting all his same people in there. One, because they can deliver, but two, just because they're his friends. And he's like, you need work? Here you go.
Yeah.
Just do this. So
It's the same. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
exactly.
I think
Exactly.
it ties in to just being comfortable with a certain formula. Like, this worked before,
Yeah.
so let's do it again. I think it ties into stuff also with all the remakes we were seeing being done, you know. It's just like, okay, well,
Yes.
and I think that makes people hungry and thirsty for something new, you know, thirsty for new actors. But I do get the part of, like you said, some actors are just so dope, you know, in their craft. Like, you see them, you know it's going to be a good product. You know they're going to be able to sell your movie. We understand it's the business side. I think that's why it's important to work across, you know, from your peers, build together. There's a lot of independent, you know, filmmakers out there creating stuff. So it's really up to us. Like, it's up to us. You know, the upcoming actors just work across with upcoming film directors, upcoming producers, and just create our own thing, you know, and not really trying to wait for somebody to give us that chance, but go out and just create our own opportunities, and you never know what can come out of that.
Right. And I started putting myself in their shoes, like the talent agents, the casting directors and stuff like that. It's like, okay, like my child care is riding on this, my mortgage is riding on this, you know what I'm saying? Like, Denzel's gonna be Denzel's mortgage, you know, bills and stuff like that. This project, you a developmental project, you know what I'm saying? I can get you in the door, but you gotta deliver when the time comes and stuff like that. And it's something random that I saw, Sterling Brown? Sterling K. Brown. He got a new show on Hulu called Paradise.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah, do you know this is his first time being #1 on the call sheet?
Yeah, I just saw that, yeah.
In his career, this is his first time being #1 on the call sheet.
You lying.
Swear. Swear. He
He
said
wasn't
it.
in This Is Us. He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he was a main
Wow.
character, but he wasn't #1.
He's one of the greatest supporting.
Exactly.
He
You know what I'm
is,
saying?
like,
That's crazy.
And so just to see him even humble himself, I'm like, look, man, I'm just now being #1 on the call sheet. So if he can sit there and say that, it's like, okay, let me humble myself a little bit. And it's like, let me build, work my way up. You know what I'm saying? So.
Read back. What was the question one more time?
Why do you believe we see the same faces recycled in the industry?
Okay. Because I saw something, and that's a great question that you asked, because I saw something, Maya Hawke, she played in Stranger Things. She's Uma Thurman's daughter. She said that like casting directors and stuff, they something with the following. If they don't have big enough following, they're not hiring.
You know what's crazy? Because I've seen breakdowns where it's like independent films and it's very small projects, but they're like, we need you to have a social media following. Like it's like they want the confirmation that whatever we invest, at least like if say you have 1 million followers online, I at least know that these people that follow this person, they're gonna watch my thing because they're in it. And I thought that was so strange. I was like,
I've seen that on
this isn't a social media push. I thought this was art.
Yeah. So
it
by
makes
you
sense.
asking that question, it brought back that memory. I was like, maybe that's another reason why we see the same face, because you're getting
that following
behind
it.
Yeah. So.
And I like how she called it out too, because everybody was like, these new Hollywood, like, what's the word for the children? Like Nepo babies, yes.
Yeah.
Because she's not only Uma Thurman's daughter, she's Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Yeah.
So like she got it twice. Like you gonna get in something. But like I think it's funny that these new Nepo babies are like calling out the industry. Like y'all are doing stuff that is horrible. Like my parents didn't have to deal with this. Because if one of us said something like that, we'd be blackballed, just would never do anything. So I think that's interesting that she called that out with the following, because like Zari said, I've seen those breakdowns where it's like you must have like this amount of following or have a following on social media, and it's a like requirement for that role. It's very weird.
I feel like with certain people, like when we saw Carisha in BMF. Shout out to BMF. Alex was in BMF.
Oh yeah. Who was like? What was the line again?
What was my line?
person. Or something like
It wasn't that.
I don't know. You was painting. You had paint.
I'm
man.
blanking. No, I'm good. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I said it. No, I'm good.
But using her for the wife, and everybody bombed her, like for her
Yeah.
acting role. I was just like, they could have, got you. Like it's so many other people, but I guess since she's a follower, and following and all that stuff, it just was like, oh, we might as
And
well
she-
just throw it. It ain't that
And she
bad.
possibly know 50 Cent, and you know what I'm saying.
right.
So it does suck for, like, I ain't gonna cap. It does suck seeing that, and I'm sitting there trying to get my foot in. I'm like, bro, I'm taking
Yeah.
classes.
Right.
No disrespect, but I'm calling a spade a spade. Like, no, that was horrible.
Yeah.
I could, you know what I'm saying? So it does.
Yeah.
It's very very I don't know. It's just disheartening.
I mean, just like you see, like the influencers too. It's just like now some of them do the work.
We got a question.
But
Oh,
I
okay.
will
Go
say
ahead.
one last thing on that. I do think it also is a good thing if it speaks to like the working relationships and the product too, if it goes the right way. Like if you look at Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan has been in every last one of his films. He was in Space Jam too.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's because they have this working relationship, and when they're together, they always produce good work. So he knows, both of them know I have that guy. If there's ever if we ever work on a project together, we want to make something good, and I think that goes a long way.
Carisha, never mind. We're gonna skip her. Okay, next question is having an agent effective nowadays versus social media?
I think with the relationships that agents have, I think with the relationships that agents have created over the years is definitely beneficial. It can help your career. But I feel like if you are, like you said, active on social media and you're posting, putting content, that could help you just as much. But I think it's just different kind of like ways you can go about it. You can go the classic way with the agent, and then, okay, back to Daddy. You can go the classic way with the agent, because they do have those relationships, or you can do both, honestly, so it doesn't hurt doing both, because it just helps your chances even more. So.
Yeah, I think it just depends on, as an artist, what you want. You have some celebrities and some actors that have a whole team, have a management team, have an agent. But like we just recently did a class with Don Cheadle, and he said he's always only had an agent. So I think it just depends on whatever you want to do, or your career goals and different things like that. But you got to figure out what works for you, and if having an agent works or a manager just works, go forth.
Do you feel that social media is real talent?
It can be. I think, and that's where it boils down to, because it's funny and it's unrelated, but like my pastor said all the time, like social media has just given a platform to fools. So I think there are some people who it isn't talent, it's just a platform, or it's a specific kind of audience they're going after, and it's not meant to be like on a movie screen, but it is social media entertainment, and that still has a place because we all enjoy it, and it's fun to scroll by and be like, yeah, it was funny, a little skit, and it move on. But I think it is, it can be kind of like weird when that line is blurred, and then you have things that it's like, well, I don't know if this is really something I would like go see in like IMAX. So I think it really does. It does depend on like the individual artists themselves. I think it can give people an outlet to put their stuff out there and get it seen. And I think we've seen, like with Issa Rae, we see somebody be able to put their work out there and it blow up and it take off their career. Or Quinta.
Okay.
So it depends.
I would say yes, there are talent, but one of them, like they said earlier, consistency. Once you get that break, what are you going to do? Are you going to consistently attend acting class to better your craft? And I'm not saying all, I'm not speaking for them, but I mean, I don't think they put that consistency in that craft and continue. They just take advantage of the opportunity and get their 5 seconds of fame. You know what I'm saying? But if you if you get your big break off of social media, I would say just be consistent in attending acting classes,
Yeah.
sharpening up your tool.
Yeah, it's about the artistry. It's like, yeah, social media has that space for, you know, the fun skits and the little things like that. But I think, like you said, like you have to respect the artistry, and you can't just expect to do these skits. And if you do get opportunity, you know, to be in a film, that you can have that same approach. You know, you definitely have to dive into the artistry, the character, you know, analysis, the script analysis, the emotional work and everything, just understanding the technical details that you need to have on set, the business part, you know, it's just so many things within just the acting industry, you know, part, you know, just from social media. But, you know, there is, you know, high level content on social media,
Definitely.
with the artistry in it. So like you said, we just gotta have that discernment of, you know, what's what, you know. And like you said, when you get the opportunity, you got to learn how to, you know, take it to that next level. You know?
For me, it goes with the conversation of talent versus work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to watch social media reels with a different mindset, like, oh man, like they just getting their little, like y'all said, they little few minutes of fame, few seconds of fame, they're not doing nothing. But then I took a step back, I'm like, man, this person is consistently showing up day after day, day after day. And I watched their following go from like 4,000 or 5,000 to like 300, 400,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight.
So like they consistently showed up and they put in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like work ethic is gonna beat out talent any day.
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing that, I started getting more motivated instead of just being like, ah man, you know, they not like us. You know what I'm saying? We artists, you know, we know how to consistently like break down scripts and do all that storytelling and stuff, but it's really just about showing up consistently.
Yeah.
And that's what I took from it.
Okay. So what are some TV shows or movies you would have liked to be a part of or is currently coming out and you want to be a part of that movie or TV show?
I'd say like Dune. I really want to be in some like apocalyptic, like really like out of this world type of stuff.
I can really see
That's
that,
really,
actually.
I'd say that or something like on the other end of the spectrum, like Abbott's Elementary or
Yeah.
Abbott Elementary.
Yeah. I would say a show like just based off like my essence, my age, something like Outer Banks. Like she said, something like Dune or a part of Marvel or something like that, or the movie. Have y'all seen the movie Waves?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a great
Yeah,
movie.
Sterling K. Brown is in it.
Okay.
I forgot the main character. It's like Kelvin.
Oh,
It's
Kelvin
Dude from
Harrison.
Mufasa.
Yes, Kelvin Harrison Jr. That was a really good movie.
He's a really good.
So you know, stuff like that.
I know I want to be in kind of like the new Anne Rice, Vampire, Lestat, Interview with the Vampire. I really want to be a part of that world because she has a lot of books coming out. I love that entire like universe, so that would be fun. Anything kind of like sci-fi, kind of mythical creature, whatever. I'm into all the sci-fi kind of stuff. But Abbott Elementary would also be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be really fun to do. I would definitely want to do something like that.
Or a show like Atlanta. I know it's
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
done?
Yeah,
it's done.
But
I
stuff like
said
that.
would have been a part of.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Okay.
I like Atlanta.
You were speaking.
No, I was like, dang, what show? But yeah, definitely Atlanta.
I can see that.
I was a huge Snowfall fan, so I would have loved to be a character in Snowfall. Hopefully, fingers crossed if they're still doing it, being the spinoff with Gil Bean.
Yeah.
No, he got a crush on her.
No. We gonna do that.
We're gonna back that up. We gotta back that up. No, I'm joking. He can be a part of anything. I don't care. Go get your money back.
Yo, my opportunity to be on the show, man.
Watch it help. Watch it help.
Yeah,
Watch it help.
yeah.
Okay. Do it on me.
I always say anything like if I could do something like a different world, that would be good. Yeah, I've always loved like
They are doing
sitcoms.
reruns.
And, yeah, so I would love to do something like that. Cause I grew up on sitcoms. I'm like a sitcom nerd. And like I want to do something also like on the opposite spectrum of that. So like if I get in something like The Penguin, I would love to do that too.
Yeah.
That was an amazing show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I could really see you in a different world.
I would love
No,
it,
like,
dog.
Like, I really can see you in that, bro.
Sitcom is my world,
Yeah.
dog.
I wish they brought those like those shows are more regular, like the sitcoms stuff like
Yeah.
that. I feel like they kind of gotten away from that.
I don't know. I think it's kind of hard doing sitcoms now.
Yeah, now it's just
People's
different.
attention spans. Are
That too, and it's
Yeah.
people's sense of humor.
Yeah, different stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's their attention span. I think it's just not interesting no more.
Mm.
So it's just like, I'm on to something else. But if we had a good show to actually watch, people would sit down and watch it.
Actually, that's a I watch Papa House. That's
Oh,
a
I heard it's
sitcom.
good.
That
Yeah.
I laugh
It's good.
uncontrollably watching that show, and it's a sitcom.
I mean, it's the Wayans. So.
Yeah,
It's the way.
Bob's House is
Yeah,
good.
I just don't get it. Like their jokes, I'd be like,
What you call it is good. The Neighborhood is good with Cedric
Cedric.
Oh.
and Tashina Arnold. Yeah, they're on season 7. Maybe I'm just not watching.
Hey,
Oh,
seven.
wow.
They're on season
See, I was
7.
gonna
Well,
watch
what
it for
Tashina?
Tashina.
She's good.
Yeah, and they got Schmidt from New Girl. So.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
it's an
I like
interesting
Smith.
topic. It's a
Yeah.
white couple that moved into the hood because she is teaching at one of the schools.
Mm.
So it's like it's like a different type of kind of situation that they have to work with.
I'm intrigued.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I'm like 7 seasons. It gotta be good.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I definitely can see you in Anne Rice. You and him definitely in different world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be in something that challenges me, man. Like something I can just like really throw myself into, pick up an accent and all kind of stuff. So I like shows like
That's
Bridgerton.
Mhm.
Okay.
He's trying to go.
Honestly, I do want to be in Bridgerton. I really want to be in Bridgerton.
I'm gonna work on it.
No, I'm the same. I don't really got it, but I do want to be in a Bridgerton series.
some
That
reason,
series
like,
is really
just
nice.
go completely opposite of what people would expect I would do.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I was
That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that I.
You know what? With the ponytail, I can now see you in Bridgerton.
And they putting us in
Yeah,
Bridgerton. I mean,
see
they
you
putting
in
us in it
Bridgerton.
now.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
like,
I love the
Yeah,
world.
with the little ass cocks.
Exactly.
Cereal.
Oh my God. Okay, so last question, and I want to honestly thank you guys for being a part of my show.
Thank you for letting
Thank
us
you
be
for
on here.
inviting me.
What advice would you give to the younger you when chasing this industry?
Okay, I'll go. Just focus on what God wants for you, especially in this industry. Just keep the main thing, which is the art, you know, and like Ron said, work ethic, like just stay consistent, you know, and just take chances, you know, like don't be afraid to network with people. Don't be afraid to go out and just make something, and it might fail, it might be dumb, it might be bad, or it might be great, you know, but as long as you just take that chance and say you tried and give it your all, and that's all that matters. Just give it your all and just keep God first, you know, keep your values first and everything.
I'd say, piggybacking off of that, honoring God in all that you do, remembering that, like, regardless of whether it's acting or whatever, like, this life is for Him, not for me. And then I'd say that people have an opinion about you regardless of what you do. So you might as well live a life that makes God happy and makes you happy. And if anyone has a problem with that, then that's on them.
I would say don't count yourself out, because I did that a lot, especially in high school. Like I counted myself out of even applying for like art schools because I was like, I'm not gonna get in. So like, don't count yourself out before you even try. Like have that confidence to at least try to do it. So yeah.
Alex, Ron, babe? Yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah,
you
go
go.
ahead.
Ian was looking like real focused.
Deep
Yeah.
thought,
Like,
yeah.
Because I'm really sitting there thinking to myself, like, what would I tell myself?
No, something that I would tell my younger self is have a funeral for the idea of making it, like I discussed earlier.
Say it
Like,
again. Say it again.
have a funeral for the idea of making it.
Good boy, dropping.
So much time to think about all this stuff. Like, for real, kill it. Like, kill it. Just have a funeral for it. Like, the idea of star power and celebrity, all of that stuff. Like, have a funeral for it because it's not going to turn out the way that you think and all of that stuff. And it's like, focus on the journey. This is the journey. What we doing right now, this is the journey. This is the things that's going, like, you're going to look back on, it's like, man, we really sat there and had an interview and, like, talked about all kind of stuff, the craft and all of that shit. So if you do make it to those levels, you're going to miss moments like this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would tell my younger self is like, man, kill all of that. Kill all of that and just enjoy the journey.
We're gonna go viral in like 10 years of
Hey,
everybody
bro,
looking up
can I
our
tap
old
that on
interview
myself?
videos.
You won't be mad if I tap you on myself, right? You just gonna be mad.
That's a long.
That's
That's
a
a
sleeve.
That was deep. That was good.
Yeah,
That was
that was
deep.
really good.
You got. I'm still thinking on mine.
Okay, I'll go there. I would say God has a plan for you. It's going to be hard. You go ahead and get that out of the way. Going to be difficult, but there is space for you, and there is a place for you, despite what you may see on TV or what people may tell you. This road is for you as well, and to just stay consistent and never stop believing in yourself or in God, and understand that, you know, the process demands a lot of ups and downs, but, you know, the ups are definitely worth it.
All y'all really did say. Y'all all said it.
Go hard.
I really am. I'm trying to, but all y'all said what I really want to say. I'm gonna say, Ian, you're doing a good job. Be patient. And continue to reach for the stars.
You're doing a good job alone.
Yeah, it's hard out here. You're doing a good job, Ian. You ain't compromised. You ain't sell yourself short. And you're building. So keep doing a good job, bro.
I think that's good, bro. Because a lot of times I feel like we don't hear that, especially like as artists. Like, you just doing a good job. Like, I'm proud of you. Even just like you said, just being in it, being consistent, just in the journey. Like, just hearing I'm proud of you. Like, so that's good. I really like that.
Yeah.
It's hard out here. You know what I'm saying?
is.
Like I tell y'all, like, you know, sitting there, I had to try to find clarity, you know, get myself right, and just to hear yourself, you know, you're doing a good job. You got to. You got to tell you that self. You got to tell yourself that sometimes, because it's hard.
Especially as artists, because like a lot of things we pursue, you know, family members or like friends or other people, they don't really get the process. They don't get the journey, you know, so they don't really see the things that you go through, and nothing's guaranteed. So, you know,
Because you want to fulfill your purpose and your dream, but you don't want to sit there and neglect. And that's why I tell her sometimes, it's like, with me, when I put my mind to doing something, I'm all in it. And she sits there and like, you forget about me. Like, I gotta go through things too. You know, I'm going through things too, but you know, we as artists, we're sitting there like, no, I want to complete what I envision, because if I let it go, you know what I'm saying, somebody else might get it, the idea, because you know, it's energy, it passes on. That idea, everybody has the same idea, but who's going to accomplish that idea? So I don't want that idea to go, and then I don't want to sit there and feel like, oh man, I missed my shot or my opportunity, or I don't want to sit there and waste it. So you know what I'm saying, so you got to sit there and tell yourself, you're doing a good job. Like Larry June said, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, and it's gonna find you.
Man,
Yeah.
It's gonna find you.
definitely, that's what I would tell myself. Be patient, you're doing a good job.
At least y'all can wake up and look in the mirror and then sell y'all souls.
Amen.
That's very true.
Dang.
Lord,
Not-
Yeah. I'd rather be where I'm at for the rest of my life.
So y'all, we're gonna wrap real quick talk show up with Ashley.
You.
I hope y'all take this information and soak it all in. Definitely gems were dropped. And just look at them. Put them on the screen.
Can I say one last thing? No, this is to the up and coming actors, artists out there. Most importantly, be kind. Not just to yourself, but to other people and to people that is on the set, because you never know who that person might become in the future. So be kind not only to yourself, but be kind to others, because there's a lot of artists out here who are shit in attitude wise. So be kind to yourself and to others.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's really good.
Told you, gems drop. Okay, y'all. Bye.
Peace.